What's up, guys? This is Corn Dog from the Bantha Crew, and this is what I feel is the best Han color combination, in my opinion. After testing each week a different color, I didn't do double yellow. Haven't gotten to that one yet. It just seemed, I didn't really want to try that one, to be honest with you. But this one right here, ECL, Han, I mean, ECL is everywhere, but I got a little bit of spicy deck tech for this one, so just bear with me for just a second on this one. Okay, we got our 3 Greedos. I think he's got an amazing ability. If you don't know what he does, when he's defeated, you can flip the top card of your deck. If it's an event, you can deal 2 damage. I don't run too many events in this deck, but him being a 1 cost is important because I run some 6s, and Ewing Reinforcement helps you grab this and a 6 cost. I run a couple of these. Lothal Insurgents. It's a 2 cost, 3 power, so it can get rid of a Battlefield Marine. Also, off of Ewing, you can trigger its ability so they can draw a card and discard something random, which can mess people up sometimes. Then we got the standard 3 Battlefield Marine, just a solid card, one of the best stat lines, 2/3/3. I mean, it's hard to beat that. You don't feel bad if you play this and they play something else and they play another Battlefield Marine, anything like that. Next up, we have the 3 Ezra Bridger. Just a great card. You can play this one on turn 1. Just helps smooth out your draws, gives you extra card draw because you're laying down cards in this Han deck. And like I tell people, in Han, as far as this game goes, since you're drawing 2 cards a turn, it's not a huge disadvantage to be putting a card down in your resources. Next up, 3 Echo Base Defender. Not much to say there. Sentinel. We have 3 Rogue Operative. This card's really great because you can play it turn 1. It's a 2/4 that attacks for 4. Another important thing is it has Saboteur, so it can get past those pesky shields or Sentinel characters. Next up, staple, 3 Falcon. Falcon is obviously the best in a Han deck. Sometimes you use Han's ability just so you can pay for him on the next turn, so you're not wondering about math, wondering about, do I have enough resources on my next turn if I have to pay for Falcon? I put a token reminder on him just so I remember that, hey, you gotta pay for him. Then we have 3 of the Star Viper. Sometimes you don't even attack with them, just so you can get the initiative so you can attack with them. That way you get the restore. Like I said, 3 cost, that's a sweet spot in this deck because that's your turn 1 play. If you use Han turn 1, you can ECL this out and then take out a threat. It can take out red 3. It's just great. I really like this card. Next up, this one's been an all-star for me, Escort Skiff. It's got Ambush if you have another green card. This deck is full of green cards, so it has Ambush pretty much all the time. And off Ewing, you can play this and another green card, and it's really fantastic. Next up, I run 3 of Bright Hope. This really helps in the aggro matchup. It helps, stall out any kind of space race, really. The abilities, it comes into play sometimes if you got some damage on a unit, on a Sentinel or something like that, and you want to pop it back to your hand. Like I said, this doesn't have a lot of card draw in it, but that would help. Next up, we have the all-star of the deck, and that's Steadfast Battalion. You already know with ECL, this comes in, and it can take over the game. But with Han, being able to play this with 4 resources, pop down another resource, and Steadfast getting rid of their Sabine, or since Leia comes out a turn after Sabine, you're already going to have Han Solo out, and just 7 right across the top. This card is fantastic. This is like one of the staples of the deck. Next up, Rogue Squadron Skirmisher. This card is fantastic. It's been great for me. You'll notice an ambush theme with this deck. It also lets you get cards back in your hand, which this deck desperately wants. Great to play on curve. You want 6s because if they deal with Han, people are more keen on what Han does now. So if they get rid of them, you're not going to get to 7 resources. You'll only be at 6. So being able to have an option at 6 is really nice. And off of Ewing, you can grab this and a Greedo and then grab a card back to your hand from your discard pile. So that just works out really nicely. One of Lando. In Han, you're putting lots of cards down. You want to keep track of, what you've resourced, and don't discard stuff that you might want to get back later with Lando, because you can pull him off of a U-Wing as well, and then pull something else off from your resources. So he's also got Saboteur, attacking for 6. That's a really big swing. Next up is the spiciest inclusion of the deck, and that is a 3 of Bounty Hunter Crew. So in a lot of games, when you play, we'll say an event, it sits on the stack until it resolves. But in this game, when you play U-Wing Reinforcement, it goes directly to your discard pile. So you can grab a Bounty Hunter Crew and then pick up your U-Wing right back to your hand. It keeps you refueled, as it was. And so you get to play a Bounty Hunter Crew, and you can grab a Greedo if you're lucky, and then get the U-Wing. And those grindy matches where they play something, you play something, being able to have a guaranteed U-Wing in your hand for the next turn is just great. This deck can even play him for 8, and you can get back U-Wing if you need to. Speaking of U-Wing, obviously you're going to run 3. All-star of the deck as well. You're wanting to see U-Wing. And then I also run 3 Han Solo. Also Ambush. He's just a great card. I like him. I've tinkered around with playing Luke as well, and that's definitely an option. Luke is amazing, but Han Solo, you can natural 7 him, so that's nice. One of the biggest draws of playing Han Green is a turn 1 resupply. So turn 1 resupply, then you're already up a huge amount with Han, so you're able to do the crazy U-Wing turn even a turn sooner in the green version. So yeah, resupply, just really good, really good. Then another card that is kind of a crux of this deck is Traitorous. Being able to play this, like I said, if you resupply turn 1, and then you're able to go to Traitorous just that much sooner. And this can really swing a game, and especially against the aggro decks. I had a game the other night where he had a pumped up Stormtrooper or Seasoned Shore Trooper from a Tarkin, and it was a little hard to deal with. But with Traitorous, I was able to grab it, and then I top decked another Traitorous and took his Veers. So I was pumping my own Imperial team at that point. So yeah, that's the deck tech. Yeah, don't sleep on this card. Don't be afraid to play out of aspect cards in these decks. I've even tinkered around with Boba Fett, but this card really combos well in the grind game. Ambush is there for all of your aggro decks, and that works fantastic. But the Bounty Hunter Crew is really there for, you're kind of running out of steam, so you're able to play this, get a U-Wing back, and just refuel. But yeah, thanks. This is Corndog from the Bantha Crew. Don't forget to subscribe.